What's going on, guys? This is Tony Hannity's, and this is the VEDA Day 23, and this is the last VEDA for the month of April of 2014. It has been a great ride doing this as much as I can. I know I've missed a ton of days. Obviously, there are 30 days in April, and this is VEDA Day number 23, so I'm missing 7 days, so I'm missing a week. So I'm going to try and cram in a week's worth of stuff in the next 15 minutes or so. So, personal stuff, sports. Let's go with that actually before we do personal stuff. So sports, Giants won, I think, or they're winning right now. Awesome. A's freaking killed it. So good on you guys. Sharks, what the hell? Really? Come on. You had a 3-game lead against the freaking Kings. And then what? Y'all forgot that you were playing in the playoffs? Quit being Sharks in the playoffs, please. Can you just, I don't know, be Blackhawks just for the playoffs? Like, play like Blackhawks. Don't be Black. Just play like the Blackhawks. At least they freaking win a game. So, yeah. Doesn't look like we're going to be moving on. Unless in the next 5 minutes they can score 4 goals. I don't think so. I can't even do that on easy on EA's NHL. So, anyways, it was a good season, good run. We made it to the playoffs. Your team didn't. Whoever didn't make it. And yeah, so we'll see. We'll see you guys next year. Oh, I should address this whole kind of like summer boy thing that's going on. Yeah, it's freaking hot. It's almost 10 p.m. Pacific Standard, and it's freaking hot. We got tile down here, but even with that, it's just, whew, it's crazy. I mean, I remember there were some summer days where I would go outside and smoke a cigarette when I used to smoke, and just hang out outside with my neighbor at the time, who is actually the one who passed away. Like, we would 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, he would have his garage open, and I would go outside like, what's up? Like, what's up? And we would just talk because it's just way too hot to sleep. And now I can't do that. I mean, even when he was alive, he moved. So, but yeah. Speaking about that, and this is a good kind of segue into that. Speaking about that, we actually went to the site where the accident occurred. We paid our respects. We dropped the VSOP on the ground, threw in symbolic money, threw in symbolic clothing so he would be clothed in the afterlife or in heaven or wherever he believes that he is going. I believe he was Catholic, so yeah, heaven. And this was more of a Chinese tradition because one of his best friends was Chinese. So it's something that he dreaded doing, but it's something that he needed to do for Eric. So I was very honored to be a part of it. And after that, we went to Wingstop. Now, if you've never been to Wingstop and you like chicken wings, go to Wingstop and get their garlic parmesan, get ranch, and then another side order of atomic hot sauce. Mix the ranch with the atomic hot sauce, and it's pretty damn good. Now, I'm going to stick with ranch only. But if someone says, hey, I've mixed ranch with atomic hot sauce, I won't be scared to try it, as I was kind of today. I was a little timid about doing it, but I'm glad I took the plunge, and it was cool. So yeah, that was pretty much it. And then again, we did a prayer meeting. Not meeting, but we did a prayer. Well, rather, they did a prayer. We went. My wife did the prayer with the rest of his family. So that was an interesting experience. And then I got a picture of my son playing Minecraft on an Alienware with the big F-off headphones, so he looks like the gamer that his mother does not want him to become. So it's actually quite funny. It's her looking into the future a few more years, like, no, get off the computer and go play outside. So yeah, that was cool. All right, let us talk about stuff that happened in the tech world, because that is what I do. Like, when we are not doing the LTG show, when we're not doing the Mobile Lounge, not doing Wireless Weekly, I do want to kind of touch on some key issues, key topics that are happening, And we touched on the whole debacle of net neutrality on the LTG show last night. So instead of me getting all frustrated and infuriated and confusiated, because I'm still very confused about certain things, we won't talk about net neutrality. Instead, we will start off with the F8, I guess, developer convention or conference that's happening, or rather happened today in San Francisco, and a few things that were announced at the conference that are a little bit more consumer friendly, because these are developer conferences. So a lot of the stuff that they were talking about went right over my head. Like they were talking about stuff, and I was like, do we want that? Is that good? Oh, they're clapping. Okay, it's good. I mean, but I don't even know. So one thing that Facebook is launching, I think Flipboard is the first app to do this, is that they are launching anonymous login. So if you take an app like Foursquare, TimeHop, well, obviously Instagram, there are ways that you can log in with the Instagram login, or you can log in with your Facebook. And there are definitely a good number of people out there that don't want this other app to have all your Facebook information, because up until now, when you log in with your Facebook information, you are essentially giving that app everything about you. Everything that you put into Facebook, that app and the app developer, because you've given it the permission, can basically say, oh, okay, well, since we are a location-based app like Foursquare, for example, let's check out where you tend to take a lot of pictures. Oh, well, since you tend to take a lot of pictures here, maybe you want to check out this restaurant over here. I mean, that might be a good thing, might be a bad thing, but for a good amount of people, it's kind of a nuisance and it's kind of a bad thing. And so what they're laying out is that if you log in with your Facebook account, you now will have a lot more control over what the application and the app developer is able to see. So you can give it as much as everything as you've been able to do up until all this time, or you can even go all the way opposite and do something what they have called anonymous logins. So like I said, Flipboard is the first app to have this anonymous login, where in that when you click on login anonymously, you're still giving your info, like you're still logging in with your Facebook info. Like Facebook still has to validate that you are a Facebook member, a Facebook user. However, the app itself, supposedly, isn't going to get any of that information. So it is anonymous to the app, so it's anonymous to Flipboard, but it's not anonymous to Facebook. So you could log in anonymously on 30,000 different applications, which there are. And that's great for the app developers. All they'll see is, oh, I have a new user, and that might be it. But Facebook, great. Look at all these apps that Tony's installed. Now, we promise, as Facebook, they have promised, and I quote, well, I don't know about I quote, but they've promised that anonymous logins goes. I completely lost what I was saying here. Well, basically, what they were saying is, Facebook is going to keep all the Facebook is going to get the information about you, but the app itself is not, and then also you be able to sync all of your apps across devices anonymously. So yeah, it's not 100%. So this is my point. It's not 100% anonymous. Just be aware of that. And also with the announcement of their new ad network, you might start seeing ads in other things that are not Facebook related, but because of these ad agreements and what you do on Facebook might come back and say, oh, I liked Blue microphones on Facebook, and because you liked it on Facebook, you could go to a different application, and because it's an ad-supported application, let's just say it's an application for another location-based application, if they're supported by Facebook's ad network, you will start to see blue microphone ads popping up. And you might wonder how they knew that. Well, they're basically doing a Google thing and putting ads everywhere, whether it's on a Google platform or not. So, yeah, it's, it is what it is. You're not paying for Facebook, so you can't really go up in arms and say, I don't want this. And now Facebook is trying to be a little bit more transparent as to what exactly is being shared with all these different applications. So I think it's a good thing. It's definitely a step in the direction that should have been taken, I don't know, a year ago. This is a little reactive to the whole privacy issue that we've been having for the past year, or at least for the past 8 months, ever since the whole Snowden thing went up in arms. So, yeah. Pretty cool. So the other thing that they did want to point out, though, like when you are, if you're happy with the application that you've signed in anonymously, there might be a point in time where you're like, well, I kind of want this app, whatever the app is, to have certain things with my Facebook account. So then you can log out anonymously and log back in with your Facebook account, and then everything would just meld much gooderly. Yeah, we'll go with that. So I think that was pretty much it on this. One other thing too is like they were mentioning how like if you see somebody's SoundCloud link in the Facebook app and you click on the SoundCloud link, it brings you to the webpage for SoundCloud. Even if you have SoundCloud installed on your phone, it doesn't bring you to the SoundCloud app. It brings you to the webpage, and as a user, the whole point of you downloading the SoundCloud app is so it would be able to sync with other apps, and you wouldn't have to leave the app and go to a different one. So now Facebook is going to allow linking between apps, and I guess at that point it's really up to the developer to say, okay, well if someone clicks on the SoundCloud link in Facebook, then it will redirect to the SoundCloud app if they have it installed. If they don't have it installed, we'll bring them to the webpage, and maybe the first thing that pops up is, would you rather install the application and sign in that way? Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. So that's awesome. They also promised 48-hour response time on like bug fixes, and then 2 years support guaranteed on APIs. So again, those are things that are a little bit more developer friendly, but us as users, this is just going to get better. If Facebook stays to these promises, and if there are issues, we can, to a certain degree, rest assured that the issue will be alleviated, I guess, in the next 48 hours, whatever the issue might be. So that's pretty cool. They also talked about a mobile payment platform. So let's see here. I'm actually gonna. I just fired this up here. So they're starting to test the mobile commerce, or rather they started to test it last year to attempt to simplify the shopping experience on mobile phones, which also gave Facebook more insight to its users' behaviors and interests. So the catch is that the shoppers have to have previously provided Facebook with their credit card information. So if you've seen a bunch of ads for Jack Threads, that's one instance where when you sign in with your Facebook information and then you have your credit card given to Jack Threads, I guess it's a possibility that you're also, to a certain degree, giving it to Facebook. So I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about this whole idea where it's kind of the Amazon thing where, or the Google ecosystem where they have your credit card on file and it's like, oh, I just want to buy that. Boom, that's it. That's pretty easy. On Facebook, there's a little bit of a disconnect between seeing the ad and then actually purchasing it. Because sometimes, we don't have the credit card on file, and Facebook wants to say, oh, but we will now. And now there's going to be less of a reason for you to have to buy it. And when you see that ad that gives you that awesome deal for the Star Wars t-shirt that's only going to be on sale for the next 13 minutes or whatever, there, aside from your monetary balance in your account, there's not going to be any reason not to buy the shirt. And so, I don't think I don't know when this is going to be going widespread. But yeah, just be on the lookout. If you see anything on Facebook saying, "Would you like to give us your credit card?" This is kind of why. So cool. Moving on to Android. Android Silver devices supposedly will be replacing the Nexus line. Now, the Nexus line supposedly was rumored to be killed off in 2015. So in 2015, there's not going to be any more Nexus, and it's going to be replaced with the current Google Play Edition devices. And the Google Play Edition devices are essentially the flagship phones, the HTC One, the Samsung Galaxy S4, possibly the Galaxy S5, we don't know, the HTC One M8, and the UI from the OEM is ripped out, and you're just using the Google Play Edition operating system and user interface. To nerds like us and developers, that's awesome. It's almost as pure Google as you can get. But as a developer, there's also some, I guess, limitations. Like HTC, when you get the HTC M8 Google Play Edition, it's not that easy to unlock the bootloader. If you want to really easy unlock the bootloader, you need to buy the developer version directly from HTC, which is not a Google Play Edition, so it might have HTC's Sense 6.0 skin on there again. So there's a lot of talk about, you know, what is going to happen when the Nexus line, when and if the Nexus line does get X'd out in the market. Now, Nexus, though, it's been a niche market. People like you, me, we've bought Nexi devices because to us, they're the best devices in Android that you can buy, at least here in the United States. There's no bloatware. It's exactly to Google specifications. And, you know, especially if you are a Google fanboy, you're going to get exactly essentially the device that Google has imagined Android to work with perfectly. And OEMs like LG and Asus have created some really awesome Nexus devices. However, it's only, you know, 5% of the market that's got Nexus. Everything else is Galaxy. How do you compete against Galaxy? All the other OEMs complain to Google, "Hey, can you help us? Like we can't even compete against Samsung and their marketing campaign. Can you do something to alleviate this? Because, you know, we have very little incentive to want to build Android for you guys because we don't have the marketing strategy, we don't have the marketing firepower that Samsung does. But is there anything you can do to help?" And Android Silver looks to be that response. So Android Silver is going to come out supposedly next year. Now, this is not official. This is still rumored. But this was from a report according to The Information, and theinformation.com. They are a very, I would say, newsworthy website. They're subscription only. And you know, they do a lot of digging, obviously, but also as much fact checking as they can. So they don't hear a rumor and say, "Oh, we'll go with that," and write like a whole article, like a lot of us do. I mean, even I do it too. But in any case, they heard that the next big development of Android hardware from Google is going to be called Silver, which to me sounds odd because Silver is second place. I know I'm kind of splitting hairs, but you know, I don't know why you would want to. I don't know if they had that in mind, but it just seems kind of a little bit put off for me. But yeah, this is going to be high-end devices designed with the help of Google, and already supposedly they have OEMs and ODMs at work in play with Google, including LG, Motorola, and Telefonica, and a bunch of other what are they called, carriers as well too. I mean, we're talking T-Mobile and Sprint in the USA. I mean, carrier support is huge. I mean, look at what happened with Verizon and the Droid line. That was insane. Yes, there was a crap ton of money, but it was with the whole company, the whole Verizon Wireless behind them, and it wasn't just maybe ad here, ad there. It was everything was droided out, almost so that even when you weren't talking about a droid on Verizon, if you saw an Android phone, it's like, oh look, check, it's a droid. They screwed it up for everybody, but the marketing campaign worked for the droid, and now all this Galaxy stuff is working for Samsung, and so hopefully the Android Silver line is going to give a little bit more love to the partners, like I said, LG and Motorola. Some of the, I would say, high-end specifications are going to be HD screen, waterproofing. Yeah, so it's going to be very interesting to see if this is true. It's going to be interesting to see if they announce anything at Google I/O this summer. And yeah, let me know if they completely killed off the Nexus line. Would you miss it? Or is this the first time you're hearing about a Nexus line? Or do you think that it's redundant to have a Nexus line and a Google Play line? Or is there any room to have all three? Why not? So let me know. Hit me up on Google Plus, Facebook. Well, not Facebook, but Google Plus. Well, Facebook if you're my friend on Facebook. But Google Plus. I can't think. Twitter. There you go. Or wherever else. Or if you have any questions, let me know here. Let me see if we have anyone in the Q&A. So the Q&A is open. So if you're watching right now and you want to ask me a question or you have something to tell me, you say, no, Tony, you're absolutely wrong, or Tony, you look absolutely sexy. I know, thank you, appreciate it. My wife and I were, sorry. Okay, let's go ahead and move on and end this with something that kind of came out of left field. AT&T reportedly is interested in buying DirecTV to compete against Comcast. Now, this is from a report from the WSJ, the Wall Street Journal. And essentially they're saying, quote, acquisition of DirecTV would give AT&T a national footprint in pay television at a time when the telecom company sees video delivery as core to its future. An acquisition would allow AT&T to offer bundles of wireless and TV services and could give AT&T a new ways to develop, or rather to deliver videos to its mobile and broadband customers. So this is, I don't know if this is real, if this is true, but it would be an interesting thing to see, this whole battle of Comcast buying Time Warner, and essentially they would become the largest they would become the largest cable network, and then what AT&T does, I mean, that's all satellite, so then it would be like satellite UVerse with DirecTV, and they'll get all their customers. And yeah, I'm not quite sure how I feel about it right now, but I mean, if all these companies are buying up each other, it's only going to be like 2-3 companies competing in the same market. There's going to be no competition, and in some markets there's only going to be one market. There's only going to be one competitor, so you have no choice. I don't know. I didn't think that the Comcast Time Warner deal would go this far. I would have thought that somebody in the FCC or whoever they have to get this approved would have raised their hand, said, no, we're not doing this crap. No, forget about it. No, I see what you're doing. We're not doing it. This is monopoly, whether you say it is or whether you say it's not, it is. And I don't know necessarily if AT&T and DirecTV customers overlap. I'm sure they do. I mean, I live here in Northern California, and I see DirecTV satellites and AT&T UVerse satellites everywhere. So I'm sure there's some sort of thing that they would have to work out, but I don't think I don't know if they would be cannibalizing their own business and their possible growth in that regard. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that affects it. And that's pretty much it. This is day 23, April 30th, 2014, the last VEDA. for the month of April. Now, my wife did remind me that because VEDA stands for Video Every Day for the month of April, I could also do this in the month of October. No, not October, sorry, August, because October starts with O. So I could do a veto, but then veto would mean I'm not allowing that bill to pass, and then I'm the president, and that's a whole different story. So yeah, I might do a VEDA for August, but we will see. So it's, like I said, it's been a blast. This is a kind of a work in progress. I know most people that do these kind of shows don't do it live, or if they do it live, if they do it live, they do it with somebody else, and there's a conversation. I mean, hence that's why we have an LTG show, myself and Sean, and sometimes Rad, and sometimes the other editors of LazyTechGuys.com, and we have a full-on discussion. This is kind of me just kind of bleh. This is the top news of like today and yesterday, because yesterday we didn't do anything, obviously. And this is what I think, and you can agree, disagree, whatever. Let me know. And so yeah, I'm still gonna be here if you want to hit me up and you have tech questions, or if you want to just talk tech and say, hey, what do you think about the Harman Kardon M8 on Sprint? I'm gonna say that's a joke. The phone's awesome. I think the phone's gonna be awesome. The fact that it's on Sprint, it's just Sprint trying to just really kind of stranglehold those people to stay with them. And Sprints are still losing customers. Because get your crap together, Sprint. I know you just expanded LTE and Spark into a bunch of new areas. I know, fine, but damn it, in my area here, it sucks. And I'm in the freaking Bay Area. I shouldn't have this problem. So, yeah, I love the phone. The M8 is freaking awesome, but I can't test it all if I don't have signal. That's all I'm saying. So, last time here, Bruce, I always appreciate your input. Thank you very much, sir. And the mobile lounge on the Twit network, I do want to clarify something. The mobile lounge on the Twit network it's still an alpha show, and I have been given the green light to continue recording at the Twit studios, but it is not a Twit network property. And it might not be for a long time. If you take into account Chad Johnson, who has OMG Craft, his Minecraft show, he did that on his own channel for a ton of episodes, and then the Twit network decided to gobble it up and make it a part of their network. So we're kind of doing it a little bit backwards because we're actually using the Twitch studios, but that's just because I know someone. So they've been really gracious about doing that. So once again, Lisa and Leo, thank you for giving me the ability to do that at your beautiful studios. I promise I won't eat all your nature boxes, although I do love the nature boxes. So thank you for ordering them. And I'll let you guys know when the next show is. And Bruce, I'm mailing that thing to you probably tomorrow, and I will be out. This was fun. You guys have a good one. Enjoy May, and we will talk to you later. Peace.